his training camps were the stuff of legend. I mean, he would spar 100 rounds a week sometimes, which is just insane.
Yeah. So who do you like in Canelo versus Crawford?
Well, I'm a giant Crawford fan because I think he's the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler. I also think he's one of those guys that if you tell him he can't do something, he wants to show you and shock the world.
1,000%.
Joe Rogan has weighed in on Terence Crawford's intense training for the upcoming Canelo Alvarez fight. He praised Crawford's elite switch-hitting skills and adaptability, suggesting they can neutralize Canelo's raw power and experience despite the size difference. Rogan did, however, express concern that Crawford must be big and strong enough to absorb Canelo's devastating shots, warning of the risk of being overpowered.
Crawford's about to fight.
Yes, he's going to fight Canelo.
Oh, man.
I just hope he's big enough. I hope he's big enough to keep that dude off him because Canelo hits so hard, man.
That's one dude that, like, I believe all the shit he be talking.
Crawford? Yeah. Oh, he's good.
He don't just be saying shit. That dude,
They tried to say that, like, Errol Spence was damaged because of what Crawford did to him because he was damaged from the car accident. I'm like, maybe. Or maybe Crawford would have done that 3 years ago. I think he's that good. He's just so skillful. He's so slick. And when he gets, and he's also the best guy in the sport at switch hitting. He'll go from southpaw to orthodox and be just as good and trip you up. Like you think he's going to start southpaw, he starts orthodox. You prepare for orthodox, he's fighting southpaw. He feels like he's got you timed better orthodox, he'll switch it up.
Rogan doesn't mince words. He's firmly rooting for Crawford in this mega bout. During a recent Joe Rogan Experience episode with Jim Lampley, he was asked who he favored. Without hesitation, he replied, Crawford, later explaining, I'm a giant Crawford fan because I think he's the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler. I also think Canelo is slowing down. Rogan praised Crawford's slick footwork, adaptability, and strategic finesse, while acknowledging the significant size and power advantage Canelo brings to the ring.
Which I think is really interesting. The Crawford-Canelo fight.
Beyond interesting. Fascinating.
Because how does Crawford compete with that size? Crawford is leapfrogging. He goes to super middleweight.
47 to 54 and now to 68.
And the Madrigal fight in 54 is a difficult fight.
Yeah. So who do you like in Canelo versus Crawford?
Well, I'm a giant Crawford fan because I think he's the best switch hitter since Marvin Hagler. I also think he's one of those guys that if you tell him he can't do something, he wants to show you and shock the world.
1,000%.
I also think Canelo is slowing down, and Canelo is more of a one-punch fighter now than the combination fighter he was when he was young. He uses strength and conditioning. There's very few fighters that just train using skill, just train skills. Like George St. Pierre did that for a certain period of his career.
I wonder if there's anybody left in boxing who trains just using the gym skills. There were a lot of them when I was first involved in the sport who would never have touched a weight.
Right.
You know, they
they
subscribed totally to the notion that that was negative.
Right. And the worst case, I mean, they definitely did calisthenics, but that was it. It was just body weight exercises, you know, which brings us to Crawford, which I think is really interesting. The Crawford-Canelo fight.
Beyond interesting. Fascinating.
Fascinating. Because how does Crawford compete with that size? And, you know, we have to recognize, okay, well, when Canelo fought Floyd, it was 152 pounds, right? So he had dropped down, which was a struggle for him, which is why Floyd was so brilliant in getting him to go down to 152, because he knew he would be drained.
Was it 52 or 54?
Still, Rogan warned Crawford to proceed with caution, again citing Canelo's size and punching power. He called the matchup probably the biggest fight in boxing and confirmed he wouldn't miss it. In typical Rogan fashion, the podcast discussion veered off into unexpected territory, including a conversation about cartel mule runners blending fight breakdowns with cultural commentary.
When you look at the elite of the elite boxers, to a man, to every one of them, they're disciplined. Yeah. And they stay focused. I'm so excited to see this fight with Canelo Alvarez because I think the Saudi Arabians have so much money. They're throwing so much money at boxing. And the guy who's the head of boxing over there wants to make that fight happen. I think Terence Crawford, forget about the 3 weight classes. I think he could beat Canelo.
I think he can, too.
During the Joe Rogan Experience, Crawford himself reflected on his 2023 showdown with Errol Spence Jr., crediting his victory to meticulous preparation. Everything you see on fight night, we drilled it time and time again, he said, emphasizing how repetition and training led to flawless execution. Addressing concerns about Canelo's size, Crawford remarked, he might be bigger than me, but big don't mean stronger.
Actually practicing it,
that was something that when I had the cast on, I was like, man, I love the gym so much. I'm like, man, I'm not leaving the gym. Like, I'm going to practice with this left. And that's when I got the left stronger, because at first, when I go southpaw, it was only, my right. Then when my hand got messed up, just started working on the left, and it started getting stronger and stronger. And I started getting more accurate, because at first, just throw it just to be throwing it. And then, it just got to a point where my left was actually way stronger than my right.